Imagine two people standing side by side. One drives a modest, older car, lives in a comfortable but not extravagant home, and wears clothes that are functional and well-maintained, but not brand names. The other, however, drives a brand new luxury SUV, just bought a sprawling house in a coveted neighborhood, and sports the latest designer accessories. Which one, at a glance, would you say is wealthier? Our natural instinct, shaped by decades of advertising and social conditioning, almost invariably points to the second individual. But what if that instinct is profoundly, dangerously wrong? This is the invisible trap that ensnares so many, the relentless pursuit of the appearance of wealth, which tragically drains the very foundation of actual wealth. It's a subtle but pervasive problem, not rooted in a lack of mathematical understanding, but in the deep psychological currents that drive our decisions. We crave recognition, belonging, and status. We live in a world where visible markers of success are constantly presented as benchmarks, from social media feeds curated for aspiration to the glossy pages of luxury magazines. The problem isn't that people fail to grasp compound interest, it's that they fail to grasp the seductive power of social comparison and the immediate gratification it promises. This isn't just about showing off. It's often a subconscious attempt to feel secure, accepted, and successful in the eyes of others, even if it means sacrificing future stability for present validation. Thomas Stanley and William Danko's landmark research in The Millionaire Next Door offered a profound revelation. The vast majority of millionaires don't live in mansions or drive expensive new cars. They are, in fact, prodigious accumulators of wealth, characterized by their frugality, diligent saving, and unassuming lifestyles. In stark contrast are the underaccumulators of wealth UAWs, who, despite often having high incomes, spend lavishly to signal status, leaving them with little to no net worth. The data consistently shows that those who appear wealthy are frequently the least financially secure. The average millionaire, for instance, drives a 5-year-old car and rarely leases. They understand that every dollar spent on performative wealth is a dollar lost from productive investment. Consider the behavior surrounding the automobile. Many feel an intense pull to lease a brand new luxury vehicle every few years. The monthly payments are manageable, and the car always comes with that intoxicating new car smell. But this behavior carries a hidden cost that goes far beyond the sticker price. A car, particularly a new one, is a rapidly depreciating asset. The moment it drives off the lot, it loses a significant portion of its value. When you lease, you're essentially paying for the fastest period of depreciation. The long-term math is brutal. That $500 monthly lease payment, which could instead be invested over 30 years at a modest 7% annual return, would compound to over 600,000 reals. That's enough to fund a comfortable retirement or significantly reduce working years. The unsexy alternative, purchasing a reliable, slightly used car with cash or financing a much less expensive vehicle and driving it until the wheels fall off. The feeling of driving a new luxury car provides a fleeting dopamine hit. The feeling of financial independence provides lasting peace. Then there's the allure of the designer wardrobe, the exclusive handbag, or the latest tech gadget. The behavior here is a constant striving to stay current, to project an image of being in the know or of having arrived. The hidden cost isn't just the direct expense, it's the psychological treadmill it creates. Trends are ephemeral, and what is fashionable today is past tomorrow. This fuels a perpetual cycle of acquisition, driven by anxiety that one might fall behind. The long-term math shows these are almost universally depreciating assets, offering no return on investment. A 2000 handbag, for example, represents capital that could be invested. If you were to buy just one such item a year and instead invested that 2000 annually for 20 years, you'd have nearly $82,000. That's the cost of keeping up appearances, not just in dollars, but in lost financial freedom. The unsexy alternative is simple. Invest in timeless, well-made pieces that last. Prioritize functionality over fleeting fashion, and cultivate a sense of style that isn't dictated by consumer trends. It's about building a capsule wardrobe instead of a collection of temporary status symbols. Perhaps the most significant manifestation of this trap is the desire for the aspirational home. Many stretch their budgets to the absolute limit, sometimes beyond, to buy a house in a prestigious neighborhood or one that embodies a certain lifestyle. The behavior is often driven by a perceived need to provide the best for one's family or to signal success to peers. However, the hidden cost extends far beyond the mortgage payment. Property taxes are higher, insurance is more expensive, and the expectation to maintain a certain standard of living within that neighborhood often leads to further discretionary spending on landscaping, renovations, and social engagements. The long-term math reveals that a significant portion of income becomes locked into housing costs, severely limiting the ability to save, invest, or pursue other opportunities. That extra $1,000 a month spent on a larger mortgage, invested over 25 years, could amount to over 950,000 reals. The unsexy alternative is living in a more modest home that comfortably fits your budget, or even renting for longer while aggressively saving and investing the difference. This allows for greater financial flexibility, reduces stress, and accelerates wealth accumulation. Ultimately, the definition of wealth itself needs an identity shift. True wealth isn't about status or appearance. It's about optionality, freedom, and control. It's the ability to make choices that align with your values, to pursue passions without financial constraint, and to have the security to navigate life's inevitable uncertainties. It is the power to say no to things you don't want to do, and yes to opportunities that truly matter. It is the invisible shield of financial independence that allows you to live authentically rather than performing for an audience. So, here is a single, actionable step you can take within the next 24 to 48 hours. Identify one area where you currently spend money to project an image rather than fulfill a genuine need. It could be a subscription you don't use, a small luxury item you don't truly value, or a social commitment that strains your budget. For the next month, consciously redirect that specific spending towards a dedicated investment account, even if it's just $20. Pay attention to how that shift feels, both emotionally and financially.